Say the wind is blowing, they shouldn't have to see the back, where this hair starts. So if you angle it here, right, then you have all the neck naked. Because as you keep stacking, you would not have enough to build into the neck. So you start by making sure that you build into the neck from the start, and it's nicely covered. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So,
Kind of turn when you get to the other side, to turn the track that you already sewed down. Like, see, I'm gonna sew it.
and then I sew. When I sew, and then I also loop. I'm a looper. And what that means is I like to loop my job as a stitch down my job. So this is the first, I'll have a leverage, and I like to leave leverages, when I do walk, because in case this shift, I have some room, wiggle room. So then I go back and tack this in. Again, I'm looping, I am not sewing. I am looping my job. I'm sewing under the braids. So that's under the braids. I'm sewing under the braids. So now, do you notice how far my needle is up from where I previously stitched? It's too far, because if I go, I'm gonna have to create a longer loop. You see how long that loop would be? I will go back in here. Okay. And then go and make sure I stitch this down. At that point, let's see, I can still loop. Okay. And you always want to be close to the area that you're sewing. You don't want to be too far off. You always want to be close to your stitch. Okay? So I'm trying to stitch this last one, right? But I'm here, right? So I want to go very close to it. And at this point, now I'm going to sew. I'm going to go right through the extension itself, and I'm going to push it in. Okay, now I've attached my hair. Now the next thing I would do, you could sew, right? You could go through the loop and keep sewing. I don't sew like that. Like I said, I've attached it, I've hooked it. My job now is to I'm gonna just loop my way through and keep it as close. So I'm moving from one braid to the next, one braid to the next. I'm not skipping 2 braids, 3 braids, 4 braids, because I'm making sure my stitch are really right next to each other, because I'm using a looping technique. If I was doing a stitching technique, then I could, okay, I'll show you. I could go in through the braid, right? And then maybe go three braids down, because that's a stitch. That's a physical stitch right there. That's a physical stitch. It holds tighter in. So you can, I don't. Once I get this in, I loop. And then when I get to the edges, that's when I start like really tapering it down. That's why sometimes it takes me to do a sewing job. It might take me 2 or 3 hours, because I have my madness. I have my ways. Because if you're stitching all day, it's just a lot of work stitching all day. Okay, so I just want that right next to it. Thank you. Okay, I stitch here, I stitch here, I stitch there, I looped, I stitched there, I looped, right? So now I'm on this side now, right? So the first thing I'll do is I'll stitch in. I'll create a loop, because now I'm trying to tie it up. Okay. Then I'm going to push my needle out.